What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is another episode, No Pad, No Pencil. Got my man Kwab on with me. Right now, he MIA, so I'm going to hold y'all down on this topic right now. I'm going to ask y'all, what running back will be perfect for this team? Jamal Lewis or Ray Rice? Right now, I'm going to say Jamal Lewis, man. The boy was one of a kind. And you know, where Lamar's style is, but Lamar don't really pass to the running backs out the field. So it's Jamal with me, man. Jamal is a perfect combination of speed, power, and grace. What you got? Who you picking, man?
I would have to say for this team, I would have to go with Ray Rice, brother.
Okay.
Ray Rice. And to be honest with you, Ray Rice reminds me a lot of J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
In terms of the versatility,
right?
The potential to be that receiver out the backfield, that wiggle,
yes,
low center of gravity, hard to find, but yet powerful.
Right.
That was Ray Rice to me. Ray Rice was a very dynamic runner and pass catcher.
Right.
And that's why I think for this particular team, they are very multifaceted. They have a lot of different ways they can kill you.
Right.
And if you give me Ray Rice out the backfield, through the line, it just gives a defense a lot of things to have to worry about.
See, he the home run hitter, but my point of view, I can have that with Jamal because Jamal was everything.
Jamal, I would say this. Jamal to me, and I was a big Jamal fan, but you had to be patient with Jamal. Jamal was the type of running back that was going to give you 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, and then bust a 50 or 60 yarder
so you had to
in the
keep,
fourth quarter because he was a big boy. You had to keep feeding him. He had to get lathered up, and he was not a natural pass catcher out the backfield. That was always my big thing about Jamal. He was a big, fast, straight line runner,
right?
But he never had a lot of wiggle.
But see,
he never had a lot of shake and bake. He was a big boy, and he was coming fast, and people didn't really want to tackle him.
Basically, he was juggernaut. Once he get that first one,
juggernaut. Yeah. Juggernaut, Christian Okoye, he was that kind of guy, man.
Right. But I'm looking at it like this. Lamar don't really check down to the running back. So is the running back
Lamar? You talking about Lamar?
Yeah, Lamar, he don't check down at all.
Hold on. But they were instituting that. They were installing. Greg Roman was installing that in the offense this year. That was a part of the big part. That was supposed to be a big part of the offense, which I think was going to take Lamar to a whole nother level because that was part of the game that a lot of defenses really didn't have to worry about.
Right.
It's big plays and it's the running ability. All you had to do was spy Lamar, and if the running back went out in the flat somewhere, you had to worry about him.
Right.
Just keep your center. But now, if you got a dynamic playmaker on that level of the field, you can attack him at multiple levels. You get what I'm saying?
That's why I say that J.K. Dobbins injury really hurt us. The way the NFC look, we were Super Bowl bang.
The offense, because I think J.K. Dobbins. Hold on. Did we? I think J.K. Dobbins was primed for a very big year, man.
Oh yeah.
I think he's actually more talented than Ray Rice. He has more potential than Ray Rice to me. I was very high on J.K. Dobbins, man. Very high on J.K. Dobbins. I watched that preseason game when he got hurt.
Right.
And I was devastated, man.
He shouldn't have been in the game.
I was devastated. And I just felt like that with Lamar Jackson focusing on the short and intermediate passes to the running backs out of the backfield, it just added a whole nother dimension to a team that already had a lot of different dimensions. You know what I mean? Now you add another dimension, and you see with if you watch him with Devontae Freeman, especially in the game
the Charger game.
I was gonna say the game with the Indianapolis game when they came back.
Okay.
There was a lot of little dunking out of the
Right.
backfield, and it was wide open.
Right.
It was wide open. This
'Cause,
guy
you know,
was running for 20 yards.
Lamar really command 2 spies on him. He really command 2. So the
Yeah.
running back can get his.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think that's why I'm going back to this Ray Rice thing with this offense. Ray, remember that Ray Diddle?
Hey,
What was it?
yeah. Hey,
Ray Diddle thing
Ray Rice up the middle. Yeah.
up against the Chargers.
Right.
That was a phenomenal. That was the epitome of Ray Rice, man.
Right.
Out of the backfield, and he could just scat and make stuff happen. He was a guy you really had to get multiple guys around him because he was a little muscle.
Right.
You know, so for me, this offense is so multifaceted and multidimensional. I would hate to have to play against them and worry about all the little things they can do. You know what I mean? The deep passes, the running back running around, it can go for 50 yards. And now if you had like a running back that can shake you and catch the ball out the backfield and run the ball, it's just too much to worry about, man.
All we need is a running back right now, and adequate tackles.
The offensive line is bad too, man. And you know,
and the bad for the last 10 years. You think about it.
But the thing is, I think if they had stayed healthy, offensive line is one of those things, man, where even if you could just stay healthy, even if you're not the most talented,
right?
If you can stay healthy, offensive lines units, they start to look better as the year goes on, and they stay healthy. It's like all about cohesion,
right,
and teamwork. So even if they're not the best talent, it seems like as the year goes on, and if they can stay healthy, they start to gel and they start to get their synergy or whatever you want to call it.
I got a question for you now. How can the offensive line look good when you know you got deficiencies on the tackle, but you got Lamar in the backfield by himself in the empty set? You setting Lamar up for failure with this offensive line with no running back there and no max protection. You setting them up for failure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that with Boyle coming back, with Nick Boyle coming back,
right?
Adding some beef. Maybe they need to run some more stuff with Ricard. Maybe run heavier.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they don't have enough bodies at this point, man. Guys are going down left and right. I mean, I think it's amazing that they're 5-2 at this point, man. It's a testament to just Lamar making shit happen. I mean, it's smoking. I mean, it's really that dude doing something every third play. He does something crazy, and he can move the ball. But
you saying what me and my uncle said. Lamar putting a lot of sugar on shit with this offense, man.
Yeah, it makes me. It's pissing me off really because the team had a lot more potential than that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, it really it's a shame because I feel it's a shame, man.
Even with the injuries, though, Lamar is putting up 30 points a game. Like I say, Greg Roman just start off too slow.
Yeah, he does. He does. I mean, I see some of your commentary on social media as the game is going on. I think you're a little rougher on Greg Roman than I am.
No, because hear me out. I got an analogy for you. Greg Roman is Dean Smith to Lamar to Michael Jordan. He's the only person that can stop him. Am I lying? He's the only person that can stop this boy. It's Greg Roman.
So just answer this to me. What do you think Greg Roman specifically is doing to hinder Lamar Jackson's productivity in this offense? I think last year you're correct. Last year,
all right.
But this year, I mean, all they got is Lamar, and I think a lot. But go ahead. I just want to hear what
once again. Lamar is better playing behind the play action. Even though if the run don't work, it's like with Tennessee. When they run game don't work, they stick to it. Stick your bread and butter. That's all they got to do.
You think they should just run the ball more?
I mean, it's like it's a no-win situation with the running backs we got. But we all know what Lamar is by now. If you put him behind that play action, the field opens up for him because you give them extra time to find the man down the field. And the way our wide receivers look this year, we have a wide receiver core that can go with the ball.
Yeah. I like who they got. I like the wide receiver core. I agree with that.
And like I say, you hindering everybody, but not just run the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think they trying, man. I think these guys are just pathetic, man. These running backs they got and this line, it just for me, the team looks very sporadic, very volatile.
My man.
Even within the game, they're up and down. Like there's no they're not level. They're not level, they're not stable. You know what I mean? And I think that's really a testament or an indicator that of the poor offensive line play, and the lack of a running game. I think that with the backs they have, they're suitable enough with Lamar being a threat that if they had a suitable offensive line, the guys they have would still be effective.
The problem is we got too many of the same running backs. You got to stick to one in this NFL.
I agree with that. And I think Tyson Williams is the best running back they got. I don't know why they're not playing him.
He can't pass protect. He gave away the Oakland game. The Raider game. Yeah, he was the cause of that fumble.
Yeah, but I mean, what you want to keep him in the doghouse for half the season because of one? I mean, I feel like
Look who the coach is.
Yeah, I think this is some bullshit to Harbaugh. My big problem is with Harbaugh, man. I think Harbaugh. I'm not a Harbaugh fan.
Well,
I've never been a Harbaugh fan. Harbaugh is now riding the coattails of Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson wasn't if Ozzie didn't draft Lamar, Harbaugh wouldn't be here anymore.
He'd be at USC right now.
Flacco would have rolled out with John Harbaugh. Them motherfuckers would have left at the same time.
Joined at the hip.
Yeah. Lamar was his ace in the hole.
Right.
And now he's a genius again.
Boy, about to get 2 contracts based off of Lamar. Because he about to sign a 4-year deal or something.
I know. And he got a lot of respect for him now. People got a lot. They talking his ass up. You know what I'm saying? They kissing his ass on the mainstream media. But to me, I never liked him from back in the day when he first got here. I didn't like the way he moved. He seemed like I don't know what can we say on here?
No, say whatever you want to say.
He's a pussy, man. He's a pussy, man. He's just a dude that's uncomfortable around
alpha male.
Exactly. He got to be the biggest swinging dick in the room. I just don't like motherfuckers like that. I don't like dudes that can't lead grown men and can't and feel intimidated around grown men. And I smelled them out to be that kind of person from the very beginning. He didn't like Ray Lewis. He ain't like Chris McAllister. He ain't like Ed Reed. He ain't like none of them guys. He ain't like Bernard Pollard.
My man. That's my
man. James Ahedebo. He ain't like a lot of dudes. Anquan Bo. He ain't like none of them guys, man.
Right. Because they question his authority.
But they was dogs, man. They was dogs. And he didn't like them. And that's why I don't like him. Because he likes choir boys. That's what he likes.
But he did Scouts. But he did everything he said he was going to do when he first got hired at that press conference. He said he was going to change the culture of the Ravens. Then he changed it. He changed something up.
Yeah, he fucked it up, and they got soft. And they still kind of soft to me.
That's because that defense.
They still kind of soft. They're not like. See, to me, I wish they'd have kept that rough attitude on defense. But this team is kind of squishy. It's kind of soft.
They the players he want.
They win a different way.
See, Harbaugh like young, inexperienced players that he can coach up because he think he can coach them up to a certain level. You can't do that in the NFL. You need dogs, man.
You need leaders of men.
Right.
You need leaders of men. You need guys that are alpha males that other men will follow. You don't need these guys, yeah, I want to get this guy because, he don't make me feel a certain way when he walk in the room and shit.
He went to Michigan. He went to
He
Michigan.
went to fucking Stanford. Now, he like Stanford motherfuckers. He like these dudes who went to Notre Dame and Stanford.
Yeah.
I don't trust them guys. I mean, some of them guys can play because they do okay.
They scouts.
They scout. I don't want a bunch of them niggas. I want. You can sprinkle a few of them in there,
right?
In a key position. Maybe the center can be a Notre Dame guy,
right.
Or you know you can have a middle linebacker or somebody like that.
Right.
You know that's a Mensa guy. Okay, but we need a bunch of Alabama dudes. We need some LSU dudes. We need some dudes that got thrown out of school. But they can play, so they got 100. They got 100. They got 100 chances. You need a couple.
Right.
Yeah, you need a couple of them dudes, man. Crazy motherfuckers. You need them.
That's why I love. Man. I was hard on Peterson last year till he did what he did in Tennessee. I like Peters, my guy, man.
Oh, Marcus Peters.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like him too, man. I like him too. You need crazy dudes that it's not pussy, man. You know what I'm saying? You need grown men on the team, and that's what they used to have. You know I mean that the Baltimore Bullies was the thing for like over a decade.
The team fit the city.
Yeah, the team fit the city, and Ozzy and Ray and the dudes was there knew what they had to do. What other kind of guys they needed to bring in? Guys like Adelius Thomas, guys like Pernell McPhee, all them kind of guys. They might not have been as talented as Ray,
right?
But they had that same mentality.
Right.
And when you're talking about a game of inches, when you got dudes in the NFL that's a little bit afraid of the other dudes on the other side, that little bit of fear and intimidation is a competitive edge.
You know what this team missing? We missing a Bart Scott.
Yeah, Bart Scott. Yeah, Bart Scott. You see how Bart Scott? I really didn't like it. He was fucking with Hollywood.
No, he had to do that though.
I ain't like.
You know the fire on his ass.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, man, why you fucking with him like that? He got it to him, and then Hollywood said some shit back, and then he got it to him even more. I was like, damn, yo.
But you see how Hollywood balled that next game though, right?
Yeah, but with the younger generation, they don't really. I don't feel like they react to that shit well, man.
That's why
I don't think they react to it well. Right. Shaq, he do it all the time. He fuck with these young guys all the time, and they always get upset and they start crying about it.
That's that sucker shit, though, man.
Yeah, we in the middle of generation. What is it? Generation Y or Generation
Z, whatever.
We in the middle of the millennials,
right?
And Generation X, right?
Right.
So I kind of understand the younger guys is like, come on. Don't disrespect us, blah, blah, blah. But those guys, Shaq and them guys came from a different generation where the older guys was telling them, like, look, you got to show and prove, man. You can't we're not going to give it to you. You ain't did shit yet.
Right.
You ain't did shit yet.
Right.
Hollywood, you ain't did shit yet, man. You been dropping balls. Y'all niggas ain't won nothing. Y'all ain't won a couple games.
He about to have another game of the drops because he gave us 2 a year since he been here.
Yeah, I like the guy. Now we talk about Hollywood. I like the guy, but he's not consistent.
Would you give him an extension? Would you give him a 5-year extension?
Hollywood, a 5th year? Yeah. If we got the option.
Yeah, they ain't give it to him.
I would take the option. I mean, he's a good player. I mean, he's not bad. He's not bad. He's better than. He is the best. Best wide receiver they've drafted ever. I mean, that's not saying much.
Right.
I get it. I mean, the guy other than that would have been what? Mark Clayton?
Well, Toy. You can't disrespect Toy.
Oh, Torrey Smith. Yeah. I ain't like Torrey Smith.
I mean, he ain't had that go. He never could high point the ball, but he was adequate. You feel me?
That nigga, man, I ain't like him, man. Something about he had bad body control or something. He had straight line speed.
Man, you know what it is.
You ever meet a dude? You ever met it? You know these guys that can run fast but aren't really athletic.
Right.
To me, that was Torrey Smith.
Man,
he can run. He was a burner, but he He didn't have good body control.
Kwab, I stop BSing. He ain't a dog. Just say he ain't a dog.
Yeah, he wasn't a dog. He didn't have that Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Steve Smith was like my favorite wide receiver in the NFL before he became a Raven.
Right.
And then when he was, and I always thought like this dude should be a Raven, man.
We got him 3 years too late.
But even when we got him, I was happy. I was like, yo, this is the type of motherfucker we should have, man. We should have him and Anquan Boldin on the same team.
Or him or Mark Clayton together. Lord, I mean, not Clayton.
Derek Mason.
Derek Mason.
Derek Mason. I know you. Them guys, like all three of them guys, I like because they were strong to the ball.
Right.
They snatching the ball out the air, and they giving you the business if you touch them. If you touch them, you try to jam them, you try to tackle them. They're not going down, and you fighting the whole fucking game.
Right, and then cuss the
Corey
quarterback
Smith
out.
was a pussy, man. That's why I ain't like him. That's why I ain't like him. I'm like, I don't, if he not wide open or something, and you give him the ball in the right situation, and he running his stride, like everything gotta be perfect for him.
Hey, but he's a prototype of what you said earlier. He's a hardball guy.
He's a hardball guy. Yeah, hardball guy. He's a smart guy.
Right.
Well spoken.
Intelligent,
respectful.
Right.
All that shit.
Right.
But that don't necessarily translate
in the NFL.
Again, a good football player. You know what I mean? A lot of them guys, they're a little disrespectful, they're a little rough around the edges. That's what the fuck you need.
Right.
And Harbaugh always shies away from them guys. I was not a big Ronnie Stanley fan.
Oh man, seriously. Man, they got his goddamn mouth. I knew he wasn't a real.
Yo, me too. I was like, when they drafted, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, man.
I wanted to learn me Tunsil. I'm like, I want with the gas mask on.
Yeah, we can give him some. But we can take him on Glen Falls and Rice in town. He'd be good.
Yeah, I wanted to learn me Tunsil. I remember we needed a tackle. Like, learn me Tunsil was a monster.
Yeah.
And, I think he went to Auburn or Ole Miss or something like that.
Yeah, Auburn. He went to Auburn.
I was like, yo, that motherfucker a beast. He was the best tackle. He dropped in the draft.
Yeah. Stuff for sabotaging.
Yeah, because before that happened, if you remember, before that whole
he was coming to us.
Before the leak, they was talking about him as like the number 1 overall, number 2. Like the top 3 pick.
Right.
But we picked like number 5 or something like that.
Right.
So he dropped 7, something like that.
Something.
But he was dropping. I'm like, oh shit, we can get the number 1 guy in the country because he smoked weed. So what?
You don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Who cares? And it's clearly a setup. It's clear they leaking shit the day he get. Come on, that's clearly a setup. So I'm like, that's a falling stop.
Right.
That's an undervalued asset. You know what I mean? We should jump all over that.
Right.
And then we picked this guy up from Notre Dame, Ronnie Stanley. I'm like,
boy, I'm here talking like a insurance rep and shit.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, really? And I'm thinking Harbaugh. This guy Harbaugh written all over it. Again, we getting these Boy Scouts. He drafting motherfuckers like he want these are guys he want his daughter to date or something like. Yo,
no, he went to a Dubai Catholic school. It's the game. It's the game with hardball.
Yeah. And this motherfucker can't stay on the field, man. Ronnie Stanley, he can't stay on the field. He's a decent player. They said, I think he's an okay player. I think he's a little bit overrated.
In hindsight, us getting rid of Orlando Brown was a mistake. Signing Ronnie Stanley to that deal. That's a mistake right there.
Yeah, I saw something you wrote about that, and I think I commented on it on Facebook about the Orlando Brown move. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm getting this mixed up, but I remember some talk about Ronnie Stanley staying with the Ravens and just playing right tackle.
Right. He done
that was your opinion, right? He should have
left. He done.
Huh?
He done at left. He done.
Oh, he not doing well. I'm not really paying attention.
No, he out for the season.
Oh, Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah, he out for the season.
Oh yeah, I know that.
But I'm saying in hindsight, he done. He done at left tackle.
Yeah, but the problem was that Orlando Brown didn't want to go back to right.
But in hindsight, he wanted to go to left.
Orlando Brown wanted to go to left, right. That's where the money is.
But in hindsight, we should have kept him because we need him at left right now.
Yeah, but okay. Ronnie Stanley's coming back. We don't know he's gonna get injured again. He's done. So he was gone. Right. Orlando moved to the left side, did a great job, made the Pro Bowl.
Right.
Ronnie Stanley comes back. He's a top 20 NFL player. He's one of the top 3 at that time when he got hurt, coming off the previous season, the 2019 season, I believe.
Okay.
He was deemed top.
Right.
One and two, three.
I did
that was his best season.
Right.
So he got hurt the following season.
But that ACL, he can't play left again with that. And he got an ankle injury. He going on the right now. So in hindsight, you should have kept Orlando.
Yeah, but they don't know that. They don't know that though, right?
Yeah, but once again, it was the Ravens. When the last time the Ravens signed somebody in season? When the last time they did that? But with him.
They signing everybody at tackle now because the line is trash. They got nobody.
I'm just saying, as an organization, the Ravens really never signed nobody in season. But Ron
yeah. They love the guy. They love him.
Man, but damn, the game he signed. I mean, the Sunday he signed. Goddamn, Sunday he had the torn ACL. You know,
I think he's soft as shit, man. I think he's a pussy. I'm not disagreeing with you, Tavon. Right. I'm not disagreeing at all that, in hindsight, Orlando Brown being on this team would make this team a much better team.
Right.
But my point is, I think it was all about Orlando Brown, though. Orlando Brown needed to be okay with that. Because
he wanted to follow in his father's footsteps. All he wanted to do was play left for the Ravens. You feel me?
Right. So but it wasn't going to be realistic with the money they gave.
Right.
The number first round pick, one, a guy that was all pro.
Exactly.
2, got hurt.
Right.
When he's coming back. You can't logically move him out of that spot because he's coming off an all pro season. You just paid him like a left tackle.
Right.
He looks like a stud, right?
Right.
And you invested a first round pick in him. So that is a no-brainer. He's going back to left, which means Orlando's got no other choice but to stay at right.
Right.
But from his perspective, being a young guy,
I gotta get that out of here.
Yeah, because you messing up my money, right? I mean, you messing up my money. Right tackles get paid 70% of what a left tackle do.
Right.
The top right tackle is getting paid 70 to 60% of the top left tackle.
Now check it out.
So I mean,
in hindsight, everybody was at fault for the situation. He about to blow the bag because he can't keep Patrick Mahomes up. The Ravens is perfect for his style. We ran the rock. Everybody was wrong in this situation. If you think about it,
I couldn't agree with you more.
Right.
I think he is really a right tackle. I don't know. I don't think he is what he thinks he is. I don't think he's an exceptional left tackle. I think he's above average left tackle, maybe. He's an exceptional right tackle.
Right.
But that's the game. You know what I mean? He's in this game. He's in this game for a short amount of time. He's got to maximize the bag, right? So I don't blame him for stepping out there and trying to maximize what he can get.
But it's so bad because we got Villanueva on the left side. He can't stop me or you. This is like, yo.
Oh, Villanueva? Oh my God, man! I didn't know he was that bad, man. I used to see him. I saw him on the Steelers, and he's a big boy. So I'm thinking, he must be able to playing for the Steelers. I'm thinking, okay, this guy is a decent player. He's horrible.
I'm gonna go back.
He the worst tackle. I can't remember worst tackle on the Ravens, man.
Hey, you gave a punchline for the show. The reason why he's a hardball quote unquote guy. He takes vitamins, he says prayers, he plays.
He's an army. He was in the army and shit.
Right.
He's the guy. He was the only Steeler that came out the motherfucking and did the Pledge of Allegiance or whatever the fuck.
Right, he a hardball guy.
Boy Scout.
Exactly. No dog.
That Boy Scout shit is ruining the team, man.
Exactly.
Tavon, you made me even madder, man. I'm even mad. I didn't even bring it. You brought that to my attention. I'm even madder now. I'm mad.
But see, he gave a punchline for the show, and it's all the truth. Hardball.
Man, I'm mad. Hardball, man. The team could be a lot better,
right,
with another coach. Because the team, and this to me, I'm trying not to get too emotionally invested in this season.
Oh.
Because I think this season is fool's gold, man.
No, it ain't. You know why? Because other teams got worse problems than the Ravens, yo. We are bad, but we know what our problems are. The offensive line, and we don't have a pass rush. But we're still winning. When we go against these other teams with good quarterbacks, we're gonna get exposed.
But that's the reason I don't think they're Super Bowl. You know, it's going to really basically make Lamar even look bad again because they'll win 10 games, they'll win 11 games, right? And then what'll happen?
Going to playoffs.
They're going to playoffs. They'll lose in the first round or the second round.
Oh, this is a playoff win team.
I don't know, man. I feel like the team is gutted. I mean, they got the most players on IR than any team in the NFL.
But see,
I think going into the season, before any of these injuries, I was very excited about this team.
But see, they watered down the playoffs though. They got 2 extra teams in it, so it's watered down.
Maybe.
I'm gonna shoot Harbaugh from bail. He can coach against it's like he had bad coaching days against coaches that was former players. He always that's his Achilles heel right there. But any other coach in the AFC, I give him more.
Okay. I mean, my thing is with this team though, man, is I feel like they had a lot of potential. This is one of the teams this is one of my favorite on paper, one of my favorite Ravens teams on paper. Right. This is Lamar's year. They gave him some wide receivers. I like the wide receiver core. I like the running backs. I thought the line had a lot of potential. I like the defense. I thought this team had a lot of depth. That was the strength of this team. The backups was even good to me. You know what I'm saying? So this is what that team stood out for was that I thought there was a lot of guys that could play that was even sitting on the bench.
Right.
But with these injuries, what we're seeing is that depth is really being tested now.
Yeah, man.
You got second and third string guys that are playing. I think if you had those first line guys, more of those first line guys mixed in with it, you would have more of a case for this team being a Super Bowl team. But I think they're just gonna get as far as Lamar can take them, and without an offensive line, it's gonna be volatile, man. Even in the game, the Colts game was like a microcosm of
the whole
season and the whole Ravens. The ups are high, the lows are low. So you're gonna see some pathetic shit, and you're gonna see some amazing shit. And that's sad because I think the team had more potential than that.
But it's like this too, yo. It's the coaching though, yo. It's like, God damn, it's like y'all not fundamentally sound at nothing.
No, and they can't tackle. It's I don't want to say everything's bad. I think they're still exciting. Lamar gives you a lot.
Right.
What else do we got other than Lamar? What else do I like? I don't think I like anything else right now.
Linebacker is too small. The pass rush.
I'm not happy with Patrick Queen. Not happy with him.
I've been on his ass since game one.
I do like Bateman. I do like Prochet.
I like what I see.
I like Duvernay. I'm a big Prochet guy.
Right.
Prochet. I don't think Prochet has been. I don't know why I like this guy. I really like him.
But that's why I asked you the question: would you sign Hollywood to a 5-year extension?
Or give these other guys. That's even a, now that you say it like that, you frame it differently now. So I think you could probably, given all the other talent you have, you probably could afford to let Hollywood go.
Yeah.
But if you get them cheap, I don't know what the number is on that 5th year.
But my thing is, I'm looking at how the Ravens are doing right now. You gave Andrews the bag. You're not gonna give Hollywood that bag. They gotta pay Lamar. They gotta pay JK. Somebody will go.
But that might be a question for the following year. If you can get Hollywood cheap. I don't know what that 5th year is. I mean, he make $4 million or something like that. I mean, I don't know what they these guys. Huh?
He a first round pick, so he gonna get probably 10, 15
on a 5th year extension or on the re-up.
When he get the
when he get a re-up.
Right.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't sign him for a re-up. He hasn't really shown to be a primary receiver to me yet.
But hey, the stats say he that. The stats say he leads the NFL in touchdowns from this year and last year in yards. The stats say he the dog.
He said he leads the NFL in touchdowns.
Yeah, Hollywood.
I'm
talking from last year into this year. He got 12 from last year to this year.
Oh, the last 2 years.
Yeah, last 2 years. From last year until now, he's leading the NFL in touchdowns.
That's crazy.
And yards. With this,
I'm about to check.
I'm telling you.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Of all the wide receivers in the league.
All the wide receivers in the NFL. No bullshit. They were talking about 105 today.
Not DeAndre Hopkins.
They were talking about it on 105. And even they say they couldn't believe it. I'm like, yo, what? I'm not bullshitting you. You gotta check it out. Check it out.
No, not Cooper Kupp, not
hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying what 105.7 said. Hollywood.
No, that nigga ain't did all that, man. He's okay. He's a.
I mean, but like I said, I don't get into the analytics and stats because at the end of the day, that's for the agents, yo. I just like the game.
I don't think he's a guy they re-up on. I think they got enough guys in the pipeline.
Right.
I think Bateman is more of a dog than he is. That motherfucker don't give you nothing run after the catch.
He got, like you say, he never got to be in open space and got to be perfect.
Yeah, he got to be open. Yeah, he got to catch it on a run and nobody's around him and he might take off. But he's not a dog. He don't want to take no hits. He goes down.
This
year he been trying to like do something, but he's still not strong enough. I feel like he don't want to take no hits.
My thing is
Bateman is a man. I like Bateman.
Why would you draft him in the first place?
I don't know. I mean, they could have had DK Metcalf. They could have had AJ Brown. They could have had a lot of dudes that are more. They have way more physicality than
the whole city know what Lamar need. My homeboy in NFL, he played for the Ravens. He'll tell you, man, you get Lamar with Michael Vick had in Atlanta, 3 big body wide receivers, Lamar be unstoppable.
That's interesting. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I think you could, if you put AJ Brown. They had to draft the AJ Brown instead of Hollywood. You recreate the narrative, man. The narrative.
It's just like this. Lamar had all the problems Phillip Rivers had with accuracy and them door mechanics. What San Diego do? They give him big body wide receivers each year. Mm-hmm. Every wide receiver Phillip Rivers had was over 6'3" or 6'4". Get that shit to Lamar, he unstoppable.
They gave him a guy that basically tops out at Deshaun Jackson.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was like, man, you giving the nigga a 5'8", 150-pound guy. Nah, man, get a big body guy. Like, I agree with you. I want to DK Metcalf. I like DK Metcalf. They was talking about him like he couldn't run routes. I was like, get DK Metcalf. He would drop into the second round. I was like, still no. I think if they draft DK Metcalf or they draft AJ Brown in that draft, you don't have to draft Rashad Bateman.
Man, DK Metcalf look like young T.O., man.
They put a lot of draft capital in the wide receiver position every draft. Every draft, like the last 3 drafts, Hollywood, then they drafted Duvernay and Prochet the following year, and then they went and drafted fucking Rashad Bateman and Tylan Wallace. They've been drafting all these wide receivers.
If anybody listened to me through the whole season, you fit in my narrative and the thing for this whole podcast for the whole season. This team biggest problem is personnel and it's Eric DeCosta. This franchise need a fresh set of eyes, man. You don't have to. You starting to implement the personnel that you had for the scheme that you're trying to play, but you still don't have the personnel 3 years later, yo. You still don't have it.
Well, I think they messed up with the Hollywood thing, man, I think it affected. Now it's affecting the pass rush.
But not even on the offense, on the defense too.
Because if you're not loading up on all these wide receivers, they drafted so many wide receivers.
Right.
They don't have to draft all these wide receivers had they got it right the first time. So now you chasing. It's like you chasing good money after bad, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Where you could if you had got it right the first time. Now you can go after Bradley Chubb or somebody like that,
right?
Or pass or you can get a guy that defensive end.
Man, look,
that outside linebacker.
But you gotta look at it like this. You saying everything I'm saying because we still trying to replace C.J. Mosley. You should have signed him. You should have signed him.
Yeah, C.J. Mosley's a monster. I watched C.J. Mosley against. Yeah, I was watching C.J. Mosley. I'm like, damn, man, he wasting away on the Jets. That guy was a beast, man.
I mean, it's like this. He had his problems in coverage, but he was adequate. We don't have nobody now.
He had his problems with coverage, but so what? He's 6'4", 260 pounds, right?
Right.
He swallows up every running back.
Exactly.
He has some problems in coverage, but I've seen that guy cover ground because he's so fucking long. And we got Patrick Queen, who's 6 foot, about 210 pounds, 215 pounds, or whatever he is. He's light. And he's supposed to be fast.
We about to go through it. We about to go through it these next couple games because in the NFC North, their personnel is all wrong for the Ravens. We always struggle with the NFC North because they got big running backs. And our small ass linebackers can't stop that boy in Minnesota. We're gonna go life and death with them when we play them next week.
Dalvin Cook, yeah, it's gonna be.
But we about to go life and they got our Achilles heel. They got 3 big body wide receivers and Thielen, Justin Jefferson, and the other boy. We're gonna struggle.
Osgood or Osborne or something like that.
Yeah, we're gonna struggle with them.
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem. You're right. I think
they the Tennessee of the NFC.
Yeah, I gotta look at my draft, my bets that week, man. I look at my best. I just want a like a 6-game parlay and shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, my brother-in-law cost me money last week. Them and the Broncos and the Ravens, man.
Yeah. Well, this week the fucking Cardinals fucked me up, man. I had the Cardinals in a couple of my parlays, man.
Right.
And I just knew they was gonna win that game. I'm like, God damn, come on. They playing at home.
Right.
The Cardinals, to me, are the most complete team. I like what they're doing. I think I've been watching too many highlights and not enough games. I was not impressed with Kyler. He looks small in the pocket. He looks small, man.
Man, he's too small. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody's right on. He's too small to be an NFL quarterback.
But he's putting up numbers.
Look who his coach is. Look how many times he's on the ball.
He's putting up numbers, man. So I'm looking at the numbers and I'm looking at the highlights. And I'm like, this offense must be unstoppable.
But once again, they gave him what he needs. 3 big body wide receivers that could go up and get that ball.
Yeah. They putting a lot of fast guys around him.
Right.
And they got Chandler Jones on the other side. So I was like, the Cardinals look like a complete team. They look like they prime to make a run.
No, not with that style. Not in the playoffs. That shit ain't gonna get you nowhere but one game.
After watching last night, I agree with you.
Honest to God, man, I hate to say it. The Cowboys gonna go on a run. They playing the way they're supposed to play.
I like the Cowboys.
I
like this. I'm not a Cowboy fan.
Right.
I'm not a fan of any team other than the Ravens.
Right.
But based on personnel and based on how teams formulate themselves,
right.
I root. I like the way like the Cowboys are put together.
Right.
So in my fantasies, I'm heavily invested in the Cowboys offense. I got that.
Hey.
I got CD Lamb.
Okay.
I got a little bit of Tony Pollard.
Okay.
I like that. I'm invested in their offense. And I saw that coming last year. I was into that. I thought Dak was the man. Because when they drafted CD, they already had Amari Cooper. They already had Gallup. I was like, yo, they got talent. They got talent.
Right.
Dak is good enough. I'm like, Dak is a good distributor.
Even though Zeke losing a step, they still look good.
And they got Zeke, right? And I'm like, they got Zeke. And then I saw a little bit of Pollard in the preseason when Zeke was going through his contracts. I was like, they got some. I was like, these guys got offensive talent, and they always known for having a good offensive line.
Right.
So I was like, I'm investing in Dak in my fantasy. So my fantasy, I was like, Dak was killing it until he got hurt last year. I went back to the well this year. I'm like, let me get Dak. This is year number 2 for CD.
Okay.
CD Lamb is that man. I think CD Lamb I'm a big fan of CD.
He showed me in the game we played against him. I said, this boy gonna be something special, right?
I liked him at Oklahoma, man. I saw him at Oklahoma. I'm like, he's a skinny guy that's strong.
Athletic. But see, with me, when it comes to Big 12 wide receivers, that division, they throw the ball like 70 times a game. I'm not big on no wide receivers. I ain't thinking nobody in the Big 12.
I hear you. I try not to be prejudiced.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I try not to be prejudiced. I hear you. And I agree with you. Usually when I hear that, I think Oklahoma State. I don't fuck with the Oklahoma State guys.
Right.
They all bullshit.
Blackman and them.
Blackman and they got James Washington, them kind of guys.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, nah, I don't think any of them good. Texas Tech, I'm always like, yeah, they throw the ball too much. Crabtree was probably the best one to come out of there. Oklahoma always got guys that can play. They always got like 5-star legit guys that could have played anywhere in the country.
Right.
Think about it. The guys that play at Oklahoma could be at Alabama. Anywhere. They get 5-star guys.
I used to be afraid of the Ohio State wide receivers too. I used to be terrified of the boys, man.
I kind of agree with you there too, man. But I mean, McLaurin panned out.
Yeah.
McLaurin panned out, and he wasn't even supposed to be that good. I think there was another guy that got drafted. Thomas, but the same McLaurin went in like the 5th round. And there was another guy from Ohio State that went higher than him, was on the same team. I can't think of his name. They got drafted. Jacksonville.
Not Chuck, but the other boy. I forgot his name. I think they got the Ohio State wide receiver.
I think you're right, but I can't think of the guy's name.
Yeah, he got the name on. I think he
got drafted in like the 2nd round, 3rd round, and I'm like, both of them came out of Ohio State with McLaurin. McLaurin was like the 3rd option. He ended up now he's a primary guy.
He's number 1.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, we couldn't have got him. You know what I'm saying? But man. I think the kid they got now looks like a guy that can play. Ohio State. Olavi. I don't know if you've seen him.
Yeah, I heard. I got
you. You saw him?
Yeah.
He looks smooth. He's skinny, but he looks smooth.
We got what, top 3 draft pick?
Top 3?
Yeah. I mean top 3rd round. 1st, 2nd, or 3rd round.
We got a top pick in the third.
No,
round?
I'm not talking about. Did you like him going in the first, second, or third round?
I think Olave going in the first round. You don't think he's going in the first round?
I gotta keep watching this season, man. I just gotta keep watching.
I think he's going in the first round. I mean, I think you're going to have. They're talking about the guy from Alabama.
Okay.
Michi.
Yeah.
Him. He's probably going to be a first round pick. You know what I'm saying? Wide receiver. And they talk about another guy, Williams or something from Alabama, possibly being up. This will be the third year in a row that you got more than one wide receiver from Alabama.
And why?
That's crazy. I mean, that's really crazy. At the same position,
right?
Multiple guys going in the first round 3 years in a row. And how do you produce so many wide receivers?
You know why? Because all of them coming out of Miami. They coming out of Uncle Luke's school.
Yeah, that's true.
All of them coming out. They got that pipeline in Miami. That's why Miami need to get with Luke. They need to mend that fence. Or make him a head coach or something.
Every time I watch them, and I be like, you turn on the TV, you see this dude, Waddle, Devontae Smith, running wild all over the field. Ruggs, Ridley, Amari Cooper. It's like, all of these guys got wiggle, can separate, and I'm probably missing a few.
I'm like, you're missing like 15 more.
Exactly. Another guy I like though.
Who that?
The guy from Maryland. They just got hurt. I'm pissed.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Demas.
That
That motherfucker nice, man.
He was the reason my little cousin playing safety up there now. Because my little cousin, he was supposed to be a wide receiver.
You said I saw. You said that I saw that it was a Hazel. That got recruited.
Yeah.
That's my cousin. I'm like, oh, okay. And I saw that he was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
And then I watched the game last week, and he had made a big play. Hazel.
Right.
Hazel made a big play, in the backfield or some shit.
My cousin played last night. I thought AJ Dillon, my cousin.
AJ Dillon, your cousin?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yo, I'm not bullshitting. That's my cousin. Real talk.
Really?
His grandfather, my uncle. We up on the page. Alonzo Brad. He a preacher out in California.
Well, you got family all over the place, man.
Man, we everywhere, man. Man, I got another cousin in the NFL, Matt Hazel. He on the practice squad, and he bouncing around. I think he on Chicago right now.
What happened to you, man? What's going on?
I got my mother genetic, y'all. I got my mother genetic,
Yeah, man. Yeah. So your cousin was doing his thing. I saw him in the backfield making a play, man.
Yeah. What was that?
I was like, I thought he played, and my thought, I was like, I thought he played wide receiver.
Yeah, they switched him. Locks. He was like, look, boy, gonna be this defensive back, man. We got talent coming in here.
Yeah, Demas is nice, man. I like him, man. I was looking at the draft, the McShay board,
Yeah.
And I was like, where's Demas? Because Demas,
he got the height. He like 6'4", 6'5",
and he can move.
Yeah,
he got quicks. He got wiggle. He looked like he separate. I was watching the game with Maryland and Iowa before Maryland took a nosedive.
Lord have mercy.
So I'm turning that game on. It's a big game. Maryland undefeated. Right. Maryland undefeated at this time and blowing everybody out, just like last year, right?
They do it every year.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, they play Iowa.
Yeah,
fuck the white boys. I think Maryland got it this year,
right?
So I turned on the game, and you probably watched the game too.
No, I missed when I came home. It was 27-0. I went to sleep.
It looked good. Like Maryland looked really, really good the first couple drives. They looked like the much better team.
Right.
So I mean, I'm watching the game, and Tua's brother, Talia,
right? You can't read no defense.
This motherfucker he's putting it on these niggas, man.
Okay.
Demas is open. If you ever been bored and watched the game scroll,
okay.
This guy caught 6 passes in the first 2 drives. He probably had 80 yards in the first quarter, man. They couldn't stick him.
Right.
And a matter of fact, he got hurt in that game.
All right.
He got knocked out for the season. Demas in the game against Iowa.
Mm.
I believe they probably did something to him because the way he was fucking them up, I'm like,
They had to hurt him.
I'm like, they probably knocked him out the game because they could not stick this guy, man. He was killing them, and he was killing them deep.
And now I gotta ask you a question, yo. What is Maryland's biggest problem, yo? They can't get over the hump. Basketball and football. What's the biggest problem?
I don't know. It's one of my big frustrations.
I know what the problem is.
Football, man. I feel like they got the talent, like at the skill position.
Right.
Maybe they just not big enough and tough enough in the trenches. Because it seemed like when they played like Wisconsin, they played Minnesota this past week.
It's too small.
They was running them over, man.
Right.
Like it was frustrating watching the fucking game and being used to like defense. Like I'm used to watching good defensive teams.
Right.
So like when I see a team get ran over, it's like demoralizing. I don't even want to watch the game no more. I'm like, y'all can't stop the run. These motherfuckers just like running all over y'all, man.
Maryland's biggest problem to me, they should have never went to the Big Ten. They can't compete.
No, they shouldn't have went to the Big Ten. I hate to say that. They can't compete. It's sad to say.
Too much tradition.
But if you get the players in it, what does the tradition matter? Like I would like for them to fuck that shit up and like go in there. Like my image of Maryland is like, look, guys, I feel like we got better skill positions than these motherfuckers from Minnesota and Wisconsin and all this shit. You know we got faster, better athletes. So why can't you get some of these big ass motherfuckers from West Virginia or something? You know
they ain't got to do that. They need to build that pipeline with St. Francis and Dumbo.
But I feel like they're getting them kind of guys. They're getting them skilled guys, but they're not getting the big boys to compete.
But you gotta look at it like this, yo. St. Francis got 300-pound linemen down there.
I know. If they but they're not gonna get all them guys. They're not gonna get the best guys.
Right. We got a comment in the comment section. Somebody said, "What y'all think about Canelo and Plant?" I'll talk about that coming up. I already know Tank gonna knock that boy out, man.
I'm tired of Canelo, man. I've never been I like Canelo. I think he's a quality fighter.
Right.
I guess you got to put him up there with one of the best to ever do it. I mean, at this point,
do you really?
I think you do, man. I think at this point he's putting together a resume that is.
But he got a lot of bullshit behind him. I mean, he pissing hot. He got fights at catchweight. I can't put him as a great. I mean, he's a great Mexican hope. He's the leading Mexican fighter for this generation.
I'm being quiet because I kind of agree with you. I think there's a I don't know if this might get you in trouble. I think there's a bit of a Mexican bias in boxing. I think a lot of times, we like boxing mainstream media always like to talk up the Mexican fighters. Why don't you talk about the Black American fighters?
I love boxing.
Black American fighters are more prolific than any fighters that's ever lived. If you want to talk about genre, if you want to talk about tribes of fighters, the fighters that African American fighters are the most dominant fighters. Period. Point blank. Period.
You know why I love boxing? Because it's the most racist sport, and we can all be racist about it.
Yeah, but it seemed like when we talk about America, you can't say Black American fighters. Oh, he's an American. You can't talk about Black American fighters. But it's like our shit got to be separated.
No,
got to be diluted.
They're saying terms like he's a slick boxer. Like, what the fuck you mean by slick boxer?
Oh yeah, Cody's language. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, my thing with Canelo, I think Canelo is good. He's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. I don't want to take anything. I like him a lot better than I did Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah, I like him a lot better than I like Oscar De La Hoya.
But see, I like Canelo's style because he a banger. Oscar,
that's what I said. That's what I'm talking about. Right. Oscar to me was a motherfucking fraud.
I can say that, yo. He got one of the best resumes in boxing, yo. Can't say that about Oscar, man.
That Golden Boy, I don't like the way he walked in there. I don't like the way he walked in with the gold medal and the golden boy shit and all the hoopla. And I felt like Pernell Whitaker fucked him up. I feel
Yeah, I
like
give you that. I give you
feel
that.
like I feel like they really laid out a narrative, and he was more of a story, and he was more of a production.
Right.
And I feel like those
followed
other
the
guys,
script.
there was guys in that era that challenged him, man.
Yo,
Mosley,
he followed the script.
yeah, but he lost to guys.
Yeah,
He lost to Felix Trinidad.
Right.
He lost to Mosley.
Right.
Ike Corte took him down to the fucking wire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there was guys that are not in the Hall of Fame that took him down to the wire. He was a good boxer, but he wasn't like the Michael Jordan and this shit. He wasn't like what they wanted him to be. You know what I'm saying? It was what they wanted De La Hoya to be, and then it was what he actually was.
But you got to look at it like this. We can say, arguably, he got one of the best boxing resumes out there because he ain't ducked nobody.
He ain't ducked nobody. None of them niggas at that time ducked nobody, though. That era of boxing, there's a lot of dudes all them guys could box at that division. That division was loaded.
Right, 147 my hitters.
Ortiz, all these kind of guys, you know, I know Winky Wright and them guys was bigger, but you know, all them guys is kind of fighting each other.
Intertwined.
Ike Corte, Sugar Shane Mosley. It was a lot of guys at that time that could bang, and you couldn't run from nobody because everybody was good. Everybody was good. The guys he did fight that was top tier that he used to try to put himself next to. When he fought them guys, he lost. That's my thing with De La Hoya is he fought everybody because everybody fought everybody at the time. But when he when he got up to the level that they tried to put him at, what they wanted him to be at, he lost.
I mean,
he stepped up the fight floor. Floyd looked like a motherfucking amateur, man.
Time out though. I mean, that's the game of boxing. See, we caught up in this Floyd shit. Protecting the O. Back in the day, everybody took an L. See, we caught up in the O. He only lost 3 times.
That's fine. I think if he'd have fought Zab, he probably would have lost, man. To be honest with you. I think he had problems with certain type of guys, man.
Slick black fighters.
I think he had problems a lot with kind of guy like Sugar Shane Mosley beat him, right? So De La Hoya lost. De La Hoya lost. Pernell Whitaker beat him.
Exactly. And you see how they kept him away from that style of a boxer for years until he had to fight.
And this is my only problem with De La Hoya is I think he was a bit of a phony when it came to the persona. He was more of a production.
Of course.
It was all about this Hollywood Mexican soap opera star.
Right.
He had the American twist with being a gold medal winner.
Right.
I think he was more of a business. Right. But when you talk about the substance, I think there was less the substance of what he did, his body of work, didn't equal with all the shit that he got, all the accolades and shit that he got. Not to say he was bad. I just feel like I think one outweighed the other. It was more style over substance.
He had the perfect promoter in Bob Earn.
Yeah,
I like Mexican boxers.
I like niggas that
get out the mud.
I ain't want to say it, niggas that get it out the mud. I like niggas that come up and what they get, they earn.
Right.
I kind of tend to respect that shit. You know what I'm saying? I respect that shit, man.
Right.
You know, or the other way is niggas that, and I know this is a guy you don't like, we going off to another sport, but dudes that live up to the hype. And you know where I'm going with that. Dudes that come in with all the ballyhoo and even like match it, that level,
right?
Even exceed it. It's like, oh damn. Like dude came in with a lot of buzz and people was talking about him and he ain't proved nothing, but he came in and knocked it out the park and did everything that they said he was going to do.
That's Lil Tank right now. That's Lil Tank.
Okay. I was talking about LeBron, and I know you're not a LeBron guy. I know. But my analogy is he coming with a lot of hype.
Right.
But when it's all said and done, he checked all those boxes. That's what I'm saying. De La Hoya really didn't do that to me.
Everything was laid out for him. Everything.
They tried. They wanted him to be something, and his talent was a little bit short of what they sold him as.
They wanted him to be.
He wasn't Floyd Mayweather.
No, they wanted him to be bigger than Sugar Ray.
Yeah, he didn't have the talent. He didn't have the talent. That's my point. Right. He didn't have the talent. He wasn't an athlete. These niggas are.
Exactly.
He had the heart. He had some skill, but he didn't have he wasn't an athlete. These niggas was, man. You know what I'm saying? If he had Floyd's career, then yeah, I'm like, yeah, that nigga did his thing. He was everything. He was everything. If he had my man from Pensacola,
Roy Jones.
Roy Jones. He had Roy Jones' career. I'm like, yeah, he did his thing. He entertained us. I saw some shit I never seen. That motherfucker was a talent. He did everything he's supposed to do. He came, he did everything.
I mean, but technically he did though. What was else for him to do?
He fought dudes that he stepped up and fought A+ dudes and lost every time to me.
Hey, but that's boxing though.
He couldn't beat Bernard Whitaker. Bernard Hopkins fucked his ass.
Yeah. He didn't belong at 160 anyway. He didn't belong up there.
You stepped up, you did it. Bernard Hopkins burned his ass up.
Right.
Mayweather burned his ass up.
Right.
Pernell burned his ass up. He lost to Felix. He lost to Sugar Shane Mosley. Right. He lost to all the dudes that I'm like, yo, these niggas can fight.
Right.
That I respect. He lost to. The niggas that he beat, I ain't really,
But what's the common denominator in all this?
Then he lost to fucking Pacquiao too, right?
Yeah.
He lost to Pac. All the dudes that I feel like are Hall of Famers.
Right, he lost to. Right.
Who are the guys that are Hall of Famers that he beat? I might be missing something.
Technically, you can say he lost to Felix Sturm, the German boy. He was tuned up before.
I remember. Yeah. He did lose to him. But who are the Hall of Famers? I think he beat like Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah, he destroyed him. He was done though.
But that nigga had fought like 200 fights.
Yeah, he was done.
So who did he fight that was a Hall of Famer, yo?
Yeah, I gotta go through his resume. He got some names on there, yo.
He fought everybody, but he beat a lot of dudes that were like Ike Cortez kind of guys. He almost lost to Ike Cortez. And I'm a Ghanaian, so I know I love Ike Cortez.
Ike was a bad boy, though.
I like Bazooka Ike. Bazooka Ike.
Right.
He's from Accra, Ghana. So
okay.
He should have lost to Bazooka Ike. You know
right.
what I'm saying? But he beat a lot of guys at that level. Bazooka Ike Cortez level. Guys that were like right on the
No. Ike was top 5 welterweight. We can't do that. We cannot do this to Oscar, yo. We can't do it to him.
I think he was okay. He was a good fighter.
But see, Oscar De La Hoya got a lot of Ricardo Mayorgas and Fernando Vargas is on his resume.
Exactly. This is what I'm talking. You name guys.
Right.
You name the guys that I'm thinking about that he fought, that he beat.
Right.
Respectable. Mayorga was this Mayorga.
It's crazy. Crazy, mom.
Was crazy.
Yeah, smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, and Vargas was, them type of niggas.
Hey,
Andre Berto, them type of
niggas. Right.
Guys that are not on the top level.
Yo, Ricardo Mayorga is 20 years too late. If we would have had him now, that boy be, he'd be an internet sensation,
Yeah, he would. But I was never a big De La Hoya guy, man. I was never a big one. I thought he was he was a production. And Javante, I fuck with Javante.
Right.
My fear with Javante is that it's that Baltimore shit, man. I just hope this nigga.
Oh, yeah.
take care of
our own way.
I just hope he work hard, he stay focused, he works on his craft and he improves.
But
The problem with young dudes is that see success early. And I'm a victim of this, man. I mean, I if you see success early, a lot of times you don't work at it. You know what I'm saying? So my problem with him is I just want him to evolve, and I don't want him to get too wrapped up into his own narrative.
And that's what I see from the boy. We see it. As us as Baltimore guys, we see he about to go. We see it.
Yeah, you get beat by a nigga you shouldn't even get beat by.
Exactly, we see it
because he's got all the raw talent, and I think that he's got phenomenal raw talent actually that needs to be cultivated. Because I see some holes in this game.
My thing is with him, he's into everything. Like, yo, you're a fighter. You got a craft, yo. Don't fuck it up trying to be something in the streets.
That's our culture, though. That's the problem with our culture. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a social scientist as well, man. I'm an observer of people.
Okay.
I'm an observer of culture, and coming from where we come from, we see a lot of dysfunction. We grew up in a lot of dysfunction, and I see it in Javante. I mean, I see the dysfunction in him.
Right.
So that is an impediment to success. The culture we come from is not conducive to success, unfortunately. And really to get successful,
right?
To get where you gotta go, you got to be very critical of your upbringing.
Yeah, the circle, man.
You got to be very critical of the people that you love.
Exactly.
That actually taught you some shit. So you gotta know when to take the good with the bad when you grow up in an environment that a lot of people are not successful, and it's not conducive to success.
Yo, think about it. We seen 10 of him, yo. In our lifetime, we didn't see 10, 20 of him.
And it's hard to navigate that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's hard to navigate that. So I look at him and be like, damn, yo, like
we seen it. We seen it with the Josh Shelbys. We seen it with the Kevin Braswells. Like, yo, we seen these niggas before. Y'all got the talent.
And once you get the money, it's very difficult to tell these niggas nothing. Once you get the money, like this nigga, I follow him on Instagram. I see how he move. It's like, once these niggas get money, it's very difficult to get through, and it's very difficult to keep these niggas hungry.
Exactly.
And I understand it.
Right.
If I had some wins early in my life, in my 20s.
Right.
And had I come from a different environment, I could have parlayed that into something else.
Right.
I'm not completely fucked off, but things could have been better if I wasn't from West Baltimore. You know what I mean? If I had grown up in a different environment,
right?
I could have been. I might not have been impressed so much by my early success. Or
right.
Like, oh yeah, I made it. This shit's easy. Blah blah. You get when you in your 20s,
right,
and you get early victories,
right.
You think you're different, and it ain't really you got any victories. Like you ain't really did anything yet.
Right. You
didn't really do anything yet, but you don't learn that until you grow up. You know what I mean? You don't learn until you fucked up.
Yeah.
So for him, I hope he's a Baltimorean, so I get nervous about these guys, man, when they get a little bit of success because I kind of know. Yeah, you can kind of see how he grew up. You can see it in his face when he talked, everything. It's like I get it.
First thing he did, get some holes around him. This boy, he about to blow it. He about to blow it.
I hate to see it, man. I really hate to see it, man. I hate to see it, man. I like to see guys when they win to buckle down even more.
Yeah.
To focus up even more. Because that tells me that he's somebody that's something different. Like
Right.
not really caught up in the bullshit.
And he's still raw. He even listened to his interviews. He raw. I'm like, oh man, ain't nobody mowed you yet. Where the PR
exactly.
team at? You feel me?
I think he's a little bit. I was watching him and he's fighting this guy named Rolando Romero and shit.
Yeah, you see that press conference?
It was very entertaining. I was watching a little bit of that shit. It was very entertaining.
He called him nigger from all the white people. I'm like, yo, where the PR team at? This nigga crazy.
They sat him down, and I was listening to him. Like he sounds more mature.
Right.
Tank sounds more mature, but I think this dude's really gotten under his skin.
Oh yeah, he do the troll, man. He an internet troll.
He's an internet troll, and he looks like kind of a geek.
Yeah, and Tank
he's talking shit, and he's like a Filipino dude,
right?
And I think Tank that shit rubbing Tank the
wrong. No, he black.
Rolando, nah, he a fucking Filipino, man.
No, he Cuban, but he black.
Really?
That's father. Like
I'm gonna Google this shit real time because I assume he just.
No, it's father fast skin Cuban. Real talk. It's father like his father Creole.
Oh,
but he black.
Okay, why the fuck he sound like that then? He sound kind of crazy.
He got that list.
He sound like I don't like him. I hope he do not.
He's from Cali somewhere.
He's from Las Vegas. They say he was
Vegas somewhere. Yeah.
He said Tank always talking that street shit. He
said, shit, I grew up rough too.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, he don't know what I've been through.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh,
boy. Hey, Kwab, I enjoyed this, boy. It's getting late. We got to do it again.
Yeah, man. Yeah, anytime, brother. I wanted to come through and, I had to work late. I typically don't work this late, but we got some shit going on. So I wanted to make sure. Yeah, I wanted to make sure, I like to be a man of my word, yo. If I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, man.
Man.
Yeah, and I thought it'd be interesting to talk about. I ain't been talking about the Ravens. I ain't been talking about sports really.
Right.
Staying out the way. So
yo,
and I know you know your shit, so
yeah,
but
I think let people go.
I think I disagree with you a little bit more than I let on, man. I disagree with you on some shit. I be saying something. I'm like, nah, I don't agree with that shit. Man.
All right, so hey, do you agree with me that Greg Roman is Lamar Jackson, Dean Smith, though?
Yes, but I think Lamar is very free to do a lot of shit. They give him a lot of freedom. They do him a lot of freedom.
Right.
And I think a lot of his game is predicated on that offensive line. If they can keep him clean,
right,
and let him, not he ain't got no time right now, man. He ain't got no time.
It's like I said earlier. So why you got him in an empty set? That's all I ask. Why you got him in an empty set?
Put Ricard back there. I think they should put Ricard back there.
Right.
Put Doyle back there.
Somebody.
I don't think they trust their running backs.
Nah.
Put some meat back there to pass block.
Like I say, man, this is gonna be a wild second half, man. Because we're gonna get some killers.
I know, and I think you're right, man. So you think the Vikings got him?
Yeah, man.
You think?
But them wide receivers and the running back, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be a tough one. It all depends on what Kirk Cousins throw.
It's a home game.
Yeah, it's home game.
I think the Ravens got it, man.
And like I say, it all depends on Kirk Cousins. He looked bad this year.
Yeah, and Harbaugh's good out of the
bye. Right.
He's good out of the bye. I think that ass whipping they took against Cincinnati.
Yeah, man.
I think that really humbled him. I think that really, really, especially the defense. I mean, the defense has been taking a lot of flack. If they got any respect about themselves.
Humphreys looked bad. That was his worst game as a Raven, man.
I didn't watch that game. I was working. But I went back. Oh, actually, I went back. I didn't watch it real time. I went back and watched the first half. It looked like these guys were playing tough the first half.
Yeah, it's a good game.
They were constantly going after Avery. I knew how the game went, so I didn't want to watch the second half. I didn't
Right.
want to see the second half. I saw the
Avery look like a Pro Bowl cornerback, man. He's like a Pro Bowl.
They were throwing a Higgins like the whole first half.
Right.
I mean, I don't think Jamal Chase got into the game until they went to the 2-minute offense right before halftime. Jamal Chase started going off. They weren't even throwing him the ball. They were going after Higgins.
And the bad thing about he got all his yards on yet. I mean, he was a man amongst bull. He was a man amongst bullies Sunday, man.
Yep, that frustrates me, man. When motherfuckers don't tackle, man. Like that really frustrates me. Like
fundamentals, yo.
Yeah, I would have a hard time being a coach, man. If these dudes, how the fuck you ain't tackling, man? Like for me, if you ain't
on defense, only job on defense.
Can't. Like to me, it's like you scared.
Yeah,
because all you got to do is get a piece of them. You know what I'm saying? Get a piece of them, hold them up, and let the cavalry come.
Right.
Like these guys are scared. I don't know if they don't hit in practice no more. I don't know what this new football is, man.
Hey, it's what everybody wants. It's 7-on-7. You can't get it. I mean, I can go for a 10. I can go for a 10-12 game any day of the week, man. Honest to goodness.
I need at least to see 10 to 12 good defenses that's gonna hit you in the mouth. You know what I'm saying?
They don't play D no more, man.
And they let the fucking Bengals run up 41 on them
at home.
I was like, God damn! And the running back's supposed to go at home. At home. So I think they're gonna come out against the Vikings and play with some pride.
I hope they got to. It ain't no. They got to. They got to.
I think the offensive line's gonna hold up. I think they're gonna come and play with some pride. The offensive line gonna hold up enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Dalvin Cook is a problem though.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. And when did we get Green Bay?
They play Green Bay too?
Yeah, man. We play the NFC North. It's gonna get ugly, man.
You might be right.
I know.
Your cousin is gonna run wild on him.
Hey,
and Aaron Jones is a motherfucking beast too, man.
Yes, indeed.
Man, you're a monster.
Yeah, but
all right, brother.
All right, man. Baltimore City, Baltimore County, we up by here. Thank you. All
right, man. Later.
You got my number now.
I do, brother. You take it easy.